This is your election command center. We're on regional hub, but let's bring you politics. Well, the flag bearer of the NDC is taking his campaign to the home region of his main opponent and flag bearer of the NPP, Dr. Mahama. John Mahama will visit the palace of the late Gambaga chief, pay homage to the palace of the overlord of the Mamprugu traditional area, Nabohagu Abdullah Sherega, and then proceed to visit a number of communities. Kamala Kluche is covering that particular tour of the Northeast region for us. You're seeing on your screens pictures of John Mahama touching down. Let's interact with Kamala Kluche right now. Kamala, we understand first stop for Mr. Mahama is Gambaga. What really can you report? Has the campaign started this afternoon?
Absolutely, he just ended that tour of the visit to the late chief of Gambaga, who was a friend to the family that's named John Mahama and the wife Lordina as well. You will recall that Lordina Mahama started a project to, weigh down the issue about the witch camp. You know, the Gambaga area has the witches camp, where to a very large extent the NGO that Lordina Mahama funds or has been the chair of are taken into account or taken upon herself to be able to take care of the witches. And so during the death of the late chief, it was one that was paid to the family. So John Mahama had to go there to pay homage to him. But after speaking, just behind me is the palace of the Nairi here in Nalerubu. So John Mahama just entered into the palace where that campaign is starting. He first started off from the Gambaga area. But what has he been saying on the issue of Hajj? He's been making the point, just like he said in the past, that the cost of Hajj really has been very expensive. And he does not think that, the next administration, hopefully that would be the president of, would entertain any higher cost of this. We also talked about the new regions, the 6 new regions that are going to have hospitals. The hospitals will be regional based and they will be fully equipped, in which he said that he would see to it that personally he would ensure that the hospitals will be made. But if you look at what he's been telling the people, not much different. The issue about the economic conditions of the country, he believes that Dr. Bawumia, whose home region he is now, should have done quite a lot more on this, given the resources been made available to him. But the performance of the Bawumia administration, or the Bawumia administration, according to John Mahama, very abysmal. Well, because this meeting just started with the Nairi, he is not spoken yet. But later today, John Mahama intends to hold a mega rally in the Walewale, the town, where he expected to make some statement, and that that is the hometown of the flag bearer of the NPP.
Right. Kamala, just finally, we see a lot of supporters gathering behind the Nairi's palace. What's been the reception like, just briefly, to his arrival to the home region of the Vice President and the NPP's flag bearer? Does it look like he's commanding the support from that particular place because of the region we're talking about?
Stemming from that poll that came from Global Info Analytics yesterday, some improvement in the support that has come for John Mahama. I was here with him when he came for the Building Ghana tour. That was reception from the people, which presupposes that yes, of course, they believe in what John Mahama can do and they have confidence in him. Not to say that they are supporting him just because it's just ending to them, and a good number of them who are speaking to us that later on will be showing in the 7 p.m. news, it appears that they have a lot more confidence in John Mahama as compared to their own son, Dr. Mahmoud. To the beef, Dr. Bawumia.
Right then, Kamala, thank you very much for those details. That's Kamala.
I'm president for Frafres, I'm president for Dagaris, I'm president for Wales, I'm president for Ashantis, I'm president for Airways, I'm president for Fantis and Gans. And so, when I was president, we spread development across the whole country. I don't come from here, but I realized that we needed to upgrade the status of our College of Education. And so I decided that we should build a new campus for them. I went and we started the infrastructure for the new campus of the Gambaga College of Education. I don't come from here, but I started it. And so I would have expected that when my brother took over, today when I come, that campus would have been finished. And yet look at it, it's abandoned. Just because somebody else started it. And that's why I said at Gambagaranes Palace, that when I come, all the projects that we were doing that have been abandoned, we will come and take them and continue and finish them wherever in the country they are. I handed over this country on 7th January 2017 to the new administration, Akufo-Addo and our brother Bawumia. The country that I handed over was a country that was making progress. But unfortunately, today I'm sad to say that Ghana has gone back almost 10 years. We have retrogressed instead of going forward. Ghana was the second largest economy in the whole of West Africa. Today, Cote d'Ivoire has overtaken us. And today we are the third largest economy instead of the second. And so instead of going forward, we are rather going backwards. I served as vice president to Professor John Evans Atta Mills. May God rest his soul. When Professor Mills died, I became president and I had to run for an election. I did not run away from Professor Mills's record. I accepted everything that Professor Mills did. And I said I was going to continue with the work Professor Mills was doing. Today we have a strange situation where our brother is running away from his president's record. If things have gone well under this president, he accepts them and claims them and says he initiated them. But the things that have gone bad, he says, oh, I don't know anything about them. That is not the way to take collective responsibility. Because if you are part of government, you are part of the decision making, especially if you are the number 2 in government, because you sit in cabinet. If the president is not in the country, you act as president. So anything that happens in that government, you are a part of the decision making that made whatever happened happen. And so you cannot run away from your own record. You must accept that record and work to defend it. I am proud of our record with Professor Mills. We did a good job. And I came and took over from him and I continued and did a good job. It's just that our brothers came with sweet promises. 1 district, 1 factory, 1 village, 1 dam, $1 million per constituency per year. And so Ghanaians naturally decided that they will give them an opportunity, which they did. Unfortunately, that opportunity, I think, has been squandered. Because today Ghanaians are suffering. And the suffering does not know any ethnic groups. Mamprusis are suffering as much as Ashantis. Ashantis are suffering as much as Ewes. Ewes are suffering as much as Fantis. Fantis are suffering as much as Dagaris. It doesn't know any ethnic group. It wouldn't say because you are Akufo-Addo's brother or Bawumia's brother or you are NPP, you will buy cement at a different price. If cement has gone from 24 cedis when it was in NDC and today is 110 cedis, you're also going to buy that cement at 110 cedis. And so, what we need to ask ourselves when we go to the ballot box on 7th December is what President Kufuor said, look at your life and find out if your life has progressed or it has rather gone back. And if it has gone back, then vote wisely. I'm offering myself because I have the experience. I've done it before. Ghanaians have seen me as president. They've seen the work that we did. And in this time of crisis, we need somebody with the experience to come and put Ghana back on its feet. We did trial and error. When Akufo-Addo came and said, try me, and we tried him. Look at where it has landed us. This time we don't want try me again. We want somebody who's done it before and somebody who has the experience. If a driver and his mates drive your bus into a ditch, when you go and take it out and you repair it, are you going to give it to the same group of people? You will give it to a more experienced person who has driven that car safely before. We divided the regions and created 6 more regions, and the Northeast region was created. In our 2020 manifesto, at the time that the regions had been created, we said that let us not create regions only in name. We must create regions and put the infrastructure so that when you go to the region, you know that that is a region. And so in 2020 manifesto, we said it, just as the representative of Nairi came and said. And I remember the Mamprusi proverb. It says if you shoot an elephant and the elephant is running towards your house, then it's good luck because it's going to reduce the load of the meat that you have to carry home. And so the representative of the Nairi who spoke exactly the words that are in our manifesto. We said that for every region, the new regions that have been created, there's some basic infrastructure that we must provide. And the first is that they must have a regional hospital so that when you are sick, you don't have to get up and go all the way to Tamale or Bolga or to Kumasi or Akolebu to be cured. You must have your own regional hospital here with all the diagnostic equipment that can cure any disease that you have. It is only when they cannot manage it that they'll send you to a teaching hospital. And so every region must have a regional hospital. And it's in our manifesto that when we come into office, all the 6 new regions that were created, we will provide them with regional hospitals so that we bring health care to your doorstep. We also said that in order to develop sports, all the new regions and the regions that don't have them must have a standard sports stadium so that we can develop sports talents, not only in football, but in all the other sports, in basketball, in volleyball, in boxing, athletics, and everything. And I'm not talking of AstroTurf, the AstroTurfs that are being built all over the place. I'm talking about a proper stadium that people would be able to use to develop their talent. And the third one, we have said in our manifesto that all the new universities, the new regions must have a public university, not a private university, a public university that is owned by government. So you have a public university or the campus of an existing public university. And so it means that if NDC wins, the Northeast is going to have either a university or the campus of a public university, so that our students here who want to pursue higher learning would also be able to have the facility to be able to do so. And so those are some of the plans that we have. I've also pledged that we'll continue all the abandoned projects that we were doing. And so you can be sure that the E-blocks that have been abandoned, we're going to come and continue and finish them. The Gambaga College of Education new campus that we're building, we're going to come and finish it so that the school can move to the new campus and have modern facilities to be able to do the work that they have to do. We'll also continue the extension of electricity to the communities that don't have it, and also provide clean drinking water, and then also continue the roads that we were building. We built the road from Walewale to Nalergu, and we're supposed to continue it through Nakwanduri and Bunkpurgu. Unfortunately, it came to a standstill. When we come, we'll continue that road so that it will connect with the Eastern Corridor Road. so that if you're going down to Accra, you don't need to go all the way to Walewale and left to Tamale. You can just go to Nakpandu, turn right, and go through Yendi Gushego down to Dambai, and then you cross the ferry and then continue. Aside from that, in order to help our farmers, we're going to ask all those who are farmers and you have a farm to form agricultural cooperatives. We're going to give the support to farmers through their cooperatives, not to individual farmers. And so every center is going to have, every district is going to have a farmers service center. And so if you are an agricultural cooperative, you register with your local farmers service center. That is where you get your subsidized fertilizer.